Well, we get lots of questions about this ball pit and why we have ball pits at each location. We spend a lot of time chasing balls around. We like it. No, not really. We actually can't stand chasing the balls around. But the ball pit has multiple functions in treatment. Several of our facilities have zip lines, and we will be adding a zip line shortly in our new location in Katy. So they will have a zip line also. Right now they have a stationary ball pit, but we use the zip line and we fall into the ball pit because it's a safe way for the kids to get a really firm impact. The impact that they receive is proprioception, so that's part of their with the kiddos that use this, part of their sensory diet and part of their sensory regulation. So we like that falling into the ball pit, which gives that deep, heavy proprioceptive input. The other thing that this ball pit is really fun with is I call it Duncan Dive, but we have a lot of kiddos that will put things in this ball pit like colored rings, and they have to go through the ball pit to find those things. That's what we call, it's kind of, we call it Dido Dyskinesia, which is like a $5 word, but it basically means you're finding things without seeing them. You're having to use your senses. So there's a couple things that go on with that. You're having to find things without seeing it, so you're having to use your tactile. Also, the balls themselves going through them are a tactile experience. So many of our kids don't like to get completely embellished in these balls, but then we have other kids that like to get completely under them, and it's such a relaxing sensory experience. But anyway, they have to dive through this ball pit and find these items, and we have to, every so often, we do on a regular basis dump this ball pit and clean it, and we actually spray it off every day, but we dump them all out and clean it, and you wouldn't believe the stuff we find in the bottom of that ball pit, including people's glasses and their wallets. So be careful in the ball pit because it tends to absorb things for you. But this is a really fun activity for our kiddos. It's large because we treat kids and young adults, so it's very large for that reason. And we've had therapists even use the balls. As you can see, there's a letter on one of those balls. It's a letter E. We will sometimes have them find the alphabet and spell something. We can be extremely creative with this ball pit because it tends to be a preferred activity. So again, the ball pit has a very strong proprioceptive and tactile, and if we're using the zip line and a device, it also has some vestibular focus to it. So this is a great sensory regulator.